Hello, my new queens of wealth creation. Welcome to our Increase Your Net Worth workshop right now. I am Nicole Rose. You probably saw me either on an ad or on social or in an email or something like that. And I am so excited to meet you guys today. Thank you so much for giving me your time. I just want you to know how much I value your time. I made this my best, most powerful workshop ever on the energetics of money, using your spiritual gifts to grow your net worth and your self worth. Right? That's a double entendre there because they actually grow in tandem. So, we're going to be talking all about that. Everyone's just joining right now. This is awesome. I'm so glad everybody's on time. Thank you. Because then I start on time and get you off on time, and then nobody misses anything, any of the tools or anything they came here to learn. So, thank you guys so much. We'll start in just like 3 or 4 minutes, and then as people trickle in, they'll just miss the beginning and you guys won't. So all I want you to do right now is just take a minute. We sent an email and a text, I believe, about just setting what your money goal is for this summer, right? I want everyone thinking on a 90-day period. So not just for next week or for next month. I want you to think over the next 90 days, what's your money goal? And if you want, you're welcome to share that in the chat. And then you can also write down what you're going to invest that money in. And I see some people saying where they're joining from. Welcome. And Lena, I hope you are feeling better, but I'm so honored you came. I promise you're going to be feeling higher energy by the end of this workshop. Okay. Because sometimes it's even different thoughts, and shifting our emotions can help clear up those physical feelings, tiredness, sickness. So you guys are also welcome to drop where you're joining from in the chat. Nicole, hi Queen, you're working towards your first 30K month. I love that for you. I'm so excited. Lena, I'm proud of you too, girl. Welcome. So happy you're here. Rebecca, welcome. You're from Brighton, UK. Oh, I'm so honored that you joined. I realized that was probably pretty challenging. Some of the UK queens were texting me today or DMing me and saying that this was going to be too late. So if you need to go, you're too tired, I understand you all have work tomorrow, then we will make sure to get you the replay, but stay because it's going to be so much more fun doing it live. And I'm going to share something really special at the end. And that's when we're going to get to the best tool. So Laquina, am I saying that right? Laquina, you can totally correct me if I'm wrong, but first 30K month too, New Orleans, hell yeah, baby, NOLA. Anastasia from Vancouver. Hi, Queen. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad you're here. Lynn Elise, 50K 90-day goal. I love that for you. Welcome everybody from, okay, we've got Carrie from UK. I love that we've got international queens up in here. And that's actually, all my groups are very international. So I'm kind of loving that that's the same vibe in this chat. And I'm really honored that you guys are joining from all over. Hey, your PJs are welcome. You do not have to look pretty or perfect or whatever to be on camera. If you ask me a question, I want you to come on camera, and I like to see your shining faces so I can just know who I'm talking to. But however you are showing up tonight is exactly how you should be, and you are welcome here. So just know that. We're going to get started here in just 1 minute. If you just joined, feel free to drop in your 90-day money goal and what you're planning on investing it in. So the reason I say investing, right, because currency is a flow, it implies that you're going to receive it back, because when you invest your money in the stock market, usually, right, then you make a return on that money. So that's why I'm asking you, what are you going to invest this next amount of cash that you're manifesting in? And so awesome. Rebecca Oakes is working towards 10,000 pound months. That's amazing. You want to invest in yourself, additional trainings for business, materials. I love that. That's amazing. Investing in your self-care, Lena. I love that for you too. 15K monthly investing in a down payment for a house, Patty. High five for you. That's amazing. I'm so excited for you. All right, let's get started, guys. I'm going to share my screen, and I might come off just so we can see each other's faces from time to time too, but I'm so excited to get into the content. Just make a quick check, a quick check tech. Say that 3 times fast, and just make sure that your cell phone's on silent, that you've closed out of other tabs or whatever, so that you can just really give yourself this next hour for your growth and your money goals, so that you can be the wealthiest queen that you deserve to be or desire to be, right? Because wealth really means something different to all of us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we are going to get into it. Sophia, quick question for you. If more people are joining, if I make you a co-host, will you be able to let them in?
I should be, yeah.
Okay, so let me do that right now. Oh, it says I can only make you a host. Okay, so there's no way to give you the power to let people in.
Let me double check really quick.
I can check it too. I've done it before, but just figured I would ask. All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen. Sophia, if there's a good solution, just shout it
Yeah,
out. And if not, we're just
we'll let
going
you
to
know.
get started. Okay, cool. Oops. Where'd that audience window go? Okay, letting a few more people in. Can you guys just drop in the chat a yes or a thumbs up or your favorite emoji if you can see my screen right now? It says increase your net worth on the cover or not. Okay, I see some of you on camera nodding. Thank you, thank you. I just want to take a moment. We've already set our goals, but I just want to take a moment to set the intention. And my goal tonight is that everyone takes something out of this workshop that just changes the way that you think about money, about being wealthy, about how you speak to yourself, about what you actually, the cash you actually have in your bank account, that everyone has a big, prosperous 90 days this summer, that everybody creates a quick win, a quick money manifestation over the next even couple of days or weeks. And by the way, when you do, I'm not going to say if, because that has happened many times before giving this workshop. DM me or email us or text us. We want to hear about it. We want to celebrate with you. So, my question that I want you to just think about tonight is how much richer would you be if you learned how to master your energy? Right. And something tells me that's really why you guys are here tonight. And so, the main thing that we're going to be focusing on in this workshop is teaching you how to use your intuition for wealth creation. And so, I will explain that a lot more later on. But this is really about how you can reconnect to your own inner guidance system and use your spiritual gifts, your divine birthright, to create wealth in your life. So here's what we're going to be covering, just so you guys know exactly where we're going. It's the problem, right? Why do we disconnect from the abundance that is our birthright? And how is this problem affecting your financial future, right? Tangibly, what does that mean for the money that you've got saved in the bank, the down payment that you're saving for, right? How is this actually affecting you, this disconnection that you've experienced? And the solution. So that's the three pillars of the quantum wealth formula. I'm going to get in deeper on each one of those pillars with you and give you guys some of the tools. I'm going to explain the what and the why and give you some of the how. And then there'll be an invitation at the end if you want to continue on this journey. The last thing that we're going to get into is the number one secret tool for a magnetic relationship with money, which is where you want to be, right? Because then it doesn't feel like hustle and grind. It feels like pleasure and fun and joy. And I want that for all of you. So you're in the right place if you don't have clinical anxiety, but you find yourself worrying about your future regularly, right? I just qualify that. It's not that I've never worked with somebody with anxiety, but it's just, this is just an experience that you're having right now. Maybe you've been stuck in your job for a while and you're really starting to wonder, do I need to do something differently? If you want to build your own business one day, a lot of women come to me with hopes and goals of a business, but they don't know where to start, what to do, or maybe they've got an idea and they think nobody will buy it. Whatever the beliefs are, wherever you are welcome here. Maybe you followed the path that other people suggested for you. I don't know if anybody else has ever had it. Loud parents, very opinionated parents, because that was me growing up. So if that's you, but now you want to crave this connection to your own inner guidance, I got you, because that is the exact tool you're going to learn at the end. And maybe you've just been worrying that if you keep going as is, you'll never reach your lifestyle goals or you'll burn out, right? Nobody wants to burn out. We've probably all been there. And then maybe you even have more than your basic needs met, but you often don't feel like you deserve to do something nice for yourself. I know some of you have goals to invest in self care, right? You deserve that, right? So maybe you've got your basic needs met, but you're manifesting that extra budget to really put it back into yourself and grow. And maybe you feel like you're successful on paper, but sometimes you're surprised when people compliment you because it doesn't feel like it. They're literally just reflecting you back to you, right? The universe is a mirror, but it doesn't feel like it. And then, it could just be that you've generally been stuck at your job, at work, or in your business. So, just a quick reminder, the number one tool for a magnetic relationship with money, how to harness your intuition, basically to know what you should charge, what promotion you should go for, what jobs you should apply for, what type of a bonus you should negotiate, all of that. It can be applied to so many things regarding money, even to investments, but I am not a stockbroker. So please don't take that as official advice, but it has worked for me. And I will share some of my story, but that will be the last thing that we get into. So this is the problem, right? From the agenda that I was sharing with you. It's that we can't afford our dream life yet and we're pissed about it, right? We want to make that investment in the dream house or into our self-care and we're not able to do that yet. And sometimes experiencing this problem can make us feel like a late bloomer because we haven't unlocked our purpose or our full potential or our earning potential yet. And maybe you are late 20s, mid 30s, maybe you're in your 40s, right? All of that's welcome here because I'm 37, so I've certainly been where you were. But it might be that you're creating some stories out of where you are at this current stage in your life that aren't supporting you, that are holding you back, that are energetically weighing you down. We call that energetic baggage in the Reiki world. Oh, sorry, something's in my, what is that? Okay, here we go. It's like, I don't think there's bugs flying at me right now, but you never know. All right. So if you feel anxious because you don't know how to get from where you are now to where you want to be, we are going to cover that tonight because the truth is that anxiety is the exact frequency that pushes money, people, and opportunities away from you. It's a fear-based vibration and a negative projection about an unknown future, right? So things that you're feeling anxious about, they haven't even occurred yet. So you are expecting the worst case scenario or some other potential negative scenario. But when we flip this and we expect something positive to come and we really vibrationally accept and absorb that and make that our new pattern of behavior and thought, then we can shift that feeling of anxiety. And that will also open us up to receive more. I'm not going to say too much on this. I gave a whole TEDx talk on this in 2022. So you can always Google that later if you want to go down the rabbit hole. But my main point here is that anxiety is just a sign. It's just a feeling, and a feeling is an indication, right? Emotions are messengers. It is just a sign that you're off your personal path to abundance. The average person has 60,000 thoughts in a day, okay? And the average person spends 80% of their day thinking thoughts that repel money. So, what do I mean by that? I mean that it's it's normal to think thoughts that are in opposition to money. And you may not even realize this. Some of it comes from beliefs of lack, things programming from your family, but some of it could even just be not believing in your own gifts, not spending time knowing what those gifts are, not focusing on your purpose. So you're in a job that you know is not aligned with you. So regularly you're frustrated at work, right? So there's so many ways that this can happen. And I will explain this in the energetics of money section from a vibrational standpoint. But first, I want to cover how this problem actually shows up in our lives, right? So this is that whole, debate over why women make so much less money than men when we're smarter. If you ask me, right? We know we are statistically that we go to better schools, get better scholarships, get better grades, and then we make less money, right? So that doesn't make any sense. And the fact of the matter is that only 6% of female-owned businesses ever cross the 100K mark. I've done it a couple of times. It is challenging, but it's not that challenging. So why is that? So the data. Men overestimate their abilities and performance, and women underestimate both. So, men basically, well, how that plays out in the workforce is that men will apply to jobs where they meet 60% of the criteria, where women will not even put in their resume if they don't meet 100% of it. right? So if you right now, how do you use this? If you're applying, you're considering applying to a new job right now and you meet 80% or 70% or even 60, fuck it, go for it. This is your green light, right? If you needed that sign. Men negotiate way better, harder, and more frequent than women. So they negotiate their salaries 4 times as often. I was literally just talking about this with one of my VIPs this morning, also in the UK, to my other UK queens. But women also ask for 30% less when they do negotiate. So it's really using your intuition around the strategy here, which is what I'm going to teach you. And then the fact of the matter is that regardless of gender, low confidence is low testosterone. And I know it sounds like, oh, you're a woman, why would you have testosterone? But testosterone is actually a hormone that helps us feel braver, more courageous, and take risks, like applying for a promotion. So, how do you fix this, right? And claim your birthright to abundance? Because as women, we're the creators of all life on this planet, all human life, right? That is, so we have a birthright to natural abundance. It's built into us in our wombs. So this workshop is going to teach you that solution, right? How you go from anxiety and into intuition, from that anxious place into an intuitive space, because you can't reach intuition from anxiety. And then increase your self-worth, which automatically attracts either direct money or more people and opportunities that can make you more money to you. And this is that quantum wealth formula. But first, I want to share something really critical. Okay. You have to learn to trust yourself again, to take the risks. And I put that in quote for a reason that will make you richer. Also, richer, subjective, right? Because some of you are doing pretty damn well already. You've got a nice house over your head. You've got a comfortable, clean bed to sleep on. You've got more than enough food to eat well and eat healthy. You're going to cool workout classes that people would love to go to, right? So it's about finding what that personal set point is for you and getting to your own money goal. But this trust part is really the most important thing. Disconnection has become the default program for women in our society because of our parents, because of the media, because of being criticized when we were younger, because of health issues. Does anybody just drop in the chat if you've had health issues? I'm just curious. I went through black mold poisoning. That was actually what sent me down this rabbit hole of really understanding these spiritual gifts on a far deeper level because they felt easy for me before I got sick. And then when I was sick, it was harder to make any type of decision, even like what food I should eat to feel good today. So Oh, good. Oh, Katie Quinn, near death accident. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm so glad that you are here tonight and able to be with us. Autoimmune, right? I know some of the other ones that I know personally have been through things that are similar. So it can be health issues. It could even be something as simple as a past failure. Maybe you tried to launch your own business 6 months ago, 6 years ago, and it didn't work. And your brain latched on to this story about how I must be a failure, or I'm never going to be able to be an entrepreneur, or I'm just better off working for somebody else. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with working for somebody else. It's about you being in alignment with your higher self. But I'm just giving an example that, we can take a failure, and I'm going to show you guys a lot of mine tonight. I've never pulled back the curtain this far, but get excited because I'm going to be real raw and real here. But past failures can be interpreted to also past failures. We can interpret that to mean that we weren't intuitive, right? That we didn't get it right. And if that's the story you tell yourself, you literally shut off your access to intuition. Yes, it does kind of work like a light switch. I will explain that. Unmet expectations over time, right? Maybe you aren't where you thought you would be now, right? Like some of those archetypes that we covered, that can make you think that following your intuition hasn't worked. So maybe you're just going to listen to your parents or other people or your husband. And technology, by the way, guys, the way that our society is just completely constructed right now is geared to disconnect you, not to scare anybody. We're going to reconnect you. That's what we're here for. Let's see. I'm seeing that I need to admit new people and then they just disappeared. So give me 1 second, guys. I just want to make sure that I am allowing everybody who wants to be here to come in. Okay. So the tool I'm going to teach you helps to reconnect you to your inner guidance system so that you know which opportunities, like I said, are money makers for you. But the big question is, you're probably like, how did I learn this? Yes, the black mold thing really sent me down a rabbit hole of deciding that this it was no longer could I rely on other people, doctors, my parents, my friends, my own logical brain, right? Because I was getting stuff wrong too. I was so stressed. I was in survival mode and I just wasn't actually, I had a lot of brain fog. I don't know if anybody else had that with autoimmune, like some people mention you would. It was hard for me to think clearly. So I literally had to search on a deeper level. But this started way before that because that was only about 5 years ago when I went off into business for myself. So that's 11 years ago. I've had 5 businesses since. I only say that so that you guys know I'm not fucking around when it comes to entrepreneurship. I am committed to this life path and it's not always easy. And I don't always do everything perfect, but I haven't died yet, right? Like that's reminding our brain we're okay, we're good, we're still here. I had 2 bankruptcies. Those did actually feel like momentary deaths, ego deaths, if you will. Very challenging. But once again, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You can go higher. And 150K in losses, but also over 1 million in revenue, more than that. I just didn't have time to calculate this for this workshop. So the reason that I'm telling you all this is to show you the difference between when I was just kind of winging it, like I didn't actually have the intuitive tools, but when I was just sometimes connected because I was feeling really great and really good about myself, and then sometimes in an anxious space and making decisions from, fear or anxiety, what would happen? So this is my own timeline into entrepreneurship. So you can see here on the left. Turns out bangs are not a good look for me. This is me third in the back on a panel. When I worked in social media marketing, I did that for the first 4.5 years out of Emory. And I really burned out. I just really overdid it. It was working 7 days a week. This was before social media had scheduling tools, right? So I was literally, even though I had a team of 12, we were all working all the time because we had big clients like Kmart and Ralph Lauren and QVC and um, so Swatch, right? So it was a lot of big companies, but I was the marketing director. I quit. I made at that time, I made 2 investments. I made one into Facebook, which I knew was just going to be a big deal. I just knew because I was that first graduate, like high school graduate that had a college email that got an invitation to be on the platform back when they only let college people on it. And I just knew that it was so powerful. And so that was from this deep intuitive knowing. Everybody thought that was kind of nuts, but I bought pre-IPO stock from an employee. And the other one was I invested in a bar. It was a entertainment project where I was going to be the marketing director, and it did have a capital call for the team that was going to run it. And so I invested 50K in that bar. So I did both of these investments within a year of each other. And what's interesting is that this is when I first started learning about this theme, like why do some things work and some things really suck. And the theater bar investments, I did that from this desire to quit my marketing job because I was miserable, because I needed to leave, because I needed somewhere else to go and I thought it was urgent. I couldn't just sit with me. I also had really high bills and was in New York City, so there was that. But I had a lot of urgency and a lot of fear. And that investment not only cost me 50K, but also a $27,000 tax bill, which took me a year and a half to clear up. And I had credit issues during it. It was a disaster. Like couldn't buy a home, couldn't rent anything, couldn't get a credit card. Like it was really intense. And I don't even think I've ever shared that with my friends because I remember feeling so much shame when I had that problem. And it was a little challenging to explain, but finally cleared it up. Second
Hey,
investment
Nicole.
I told you about. Yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. The slides are a little bit out of sync. Oh, there we go. They're
Oh,
back
it
now.
looks like it just moved. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
You can
that's okay. Just want to make sure you do.
Thank you. I'll monitor. Let me just pull the chat up. And if that happens again, I don't know why that happens sometimes with Canva and Zoom, but I've heard that before. So I will pull the chat up, Sophia. And if that happens, you can tell me again. Thanks, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Great.
Okay. I'll just keep my eyes on them too as well on both screens. So thanks for the feedback. 2012, the bar closed. Like I told you, I lost all that money. I dusted my shoulders off, took a minute to relax, reset, and then I started an event business. 2013, I broke up with that business partner. His name was Nick Champagne. Nothing wrong with him. He's a good time, but just wasn't my lifelong perfect business partner. Kind of had more of an affinity for having champagne than making money, right? So we eventually split ways. And then I became a solo act. So some of you, if you've been following me for a while, or maybe you just did a deep dive when you found me, I used to DJ and I had a multi six-figure business DJing around the world. And so you can see I did that in 2017 where I went off on my own and was like, I can do this. I always had this belief that I had to have business partners and kind of like men, even that I like that's what it was going to take to build my own wealth. And by 2017, I had joined the six figure club, right? It took time, it took energy, it took focus, but I was having fun along the way because it was really in alignment for me in my 20s. And then I was flying around the world. I was getting brand partnerships. I put Neiman Marcus here, but I had Uber and Google and American Express. I remember that 15K partnership where I just got to like play on a boat for people. And I was like, this is so fun. Why don't I do this every day? And then press and social and things are really starting to take off. But every good thing sort of comes to, it has its natural conclusion, its natural end. Right before the pandemic, I was extremely burned out. I was playing 100 sets a year to make that 300K. And what that meant was that I was on a plane constantly flying to whatever those higher paying gigs were. I was really burned out. And I had this idea to launch a headphone company for women. I saw that there was a bit of a gap in things that were stylish. And I took that as my green light to go. I raised money for it. I found an investor and we launched right before the pandemic. But once again, this launch was from that place of fear and burnout, thinking that I couldn't keep going any longer. And so, not to belabor the point, obviously that company did not survive. We lost 100K in the pandemic almost overnight, had to close the company down, couldn't keep going. We had two factories in China, they were shut down. It was a big deal and it had a lot of fallout for people. And we did our best to wind it down in the most positive way possible. I'm still friends with that business partner. She's got another successful company now, and so do I. We literally spoke last week, but it was incredibly challenging at that time. And so this company was created, the one that I now teach and love and work with in every day, was created out of that situation in the pandemic when everything fell down, right? And if you're in that place where you feel like things are falling down, it has to break down for you to be reborn. Right. And so this is what happened to me once I started sharing my message, once I started sharing the tools that got me out of that funky place and helped to reprogram my brain to achieve my goals. And I just like this image because I had put on my vision board that I would share the messages that I now teach in a TEDx talk back in 2021, a while ago when I was really digging into this work. And then that came to life in 2022. So my main point is just that decisions that I made from fear or anxiety drained my energy and drained my bank account. Okay. But decisions that I made from a place of self love, calmness, peacefulness, intuition gave me life and made me lots of money, maybe even joy, right? Like you're feeling super lit up about a decision, and that's your signal that it's going to be the right decision for you. But here's the caveat: you have to be in a high vibration to connect to intuitive guidance. And so you guys the slides are good, right? Awesome. I'm seeing it move. Perfect. All right. So you have to be in a high vibration to receive intuitive guidance. And this is so, so, so important. And that's why I share my story with all the, I don't know, we could call them fuck ups, whatever they are. I don't call anything a failure anymore, but I did lose a lot of money and I was taking big swings, and it does take risks, right? Like I said, to become richer. But I learned a lot. I remember, actually, this is a funny sidebar, but when I made that first investment into the bar and I did the Facebook pre-IPO stock one after, I remember I called my father and I was like, what do you think? He was a really smart business owner and had manifested a lot of money. And I always checked in with him on advice for everything, every career, business, and life decision I made. And he was like, well, if it doesn't work out, you'll get an MBA in what not to do. Right. So it's like I did. Funny that that ended up being my story. But that's why I'm teaching you guys now so that you have the tools to feel even more confident in taking those big swings and those big risks. So, this is the quantum wealth, the basis of the quantum wealth formula. It's mastering your energy, it's understanding, playing with the energetics of money, right? Having fun with this, and then connecting to your intuition, rebuilding that connection that we all lose along the way. And that's creates the wealthiest version of ourselves in the bank and vibrationally. No, I'm like splashing myself here. Okay. And then I know you guys are probably wondering, that sounds great, Nicole, but is it possible for me to master this, right? I'm sure you don't want to go through the ups and downs of what I went through in the early days of entrepreneurship and investing. So, is it possible for you to master this? Well, the past 6 months, we've focused on this exact formula, the quantum wealth formula that I'm about to share with you in my own membership right now, right? It's the membership that I've had running for 18 months, but the past 6 months, all we've done is focus on the energetics of money and building that intuition tool. And these are people's results. So you can clearly see this, that people are getting better bonuses, better bumps, they're getting pay bumps, they're manifesting money in the mail, they're pivoting their careers, their parents of 4 women randomly had their mothers. These are grown women whose mothers just randomly wanted to pay for things, send them on trips, do things for them out of the blue. I don't know why that was like the theme last month, that everybody was having this like mother energy manifesting for them. But these are just a couple of examples so that you know that this stuff is not a secret. It's not that challenging, and you can absolutely do this too. And I am on a mission, ever since learning this, I have been on a mission to help other women learn how to become the filthiest fucking rich version of themselves and have fun, because you can have it all. You can do it all at the same time. So when you raise your vibration, you increase your net worth. So how do you do that? Pillar one is all about, I'm just making sure the slides are changing. Looks like we're good. The energetics. Pillar one is all about the energetics of money. Okay, guys? So as you're thinking about this, I want you to really check your mental baggage at the door here, because it's not a matter of if you can make more money. It's just about understanding how the energy of money flows. Money is just energy. That's why it's called a currency. It's just a life force that wants to flow through us like a river, but sometimes we are the ones putting up blockages, literally putting up a dam in the river. And then since money is energy, then your state of being either repels or attracts it, okay? And what determines your ability to magnetize more money? It's the healing work that you've done, right? So it's really understanding your deeply ingrained habits, thoughts, beliefs, subconscious thoughts, right? This program, this indoctrinated program from your parents, the media, society, your past experiences, the way your brain interpreted things. It's really becoming super aware of what the relationship that you currently have with money is right now, right? And it's starting to just improve it piece by piece. It doesn't happen all at once, but that doesn't mean you can't have a quick manifestation, because here's the thing about the universe doesn't reward perfection, they reward action. Money loves speed. The minute that you start flowing your energy in this direction towards abundance, connecting to that feeling of abundance in your body, you're going to start notice even smaller manifestations coming towards you. But if we're feeling lack towards money, we're going to receive more situations that are a reason for us to feel lack in return. Okay. That might show up like unexpected bills, a layoff, one of your consulting clients quitting when they told you that they were continuing, or some other sign from the universe that's just mirroring your own relationship with money back to you. So, so some of the emotions that are repellent towards money are anxiety, anger, right? Being angry at it. If you think about it like a boyfriend, if you're anxious all the time, he, she, whoever you're dating, all welcome here. But let's just use this example. Like if you're anxious all the time, he's not going to find that attractive, right? He's not going to call you if you're sitting there staring at your phone, waiting for him to call you, right? We all know that you can't, it's like you can't wash the pot and have it boil quicker. It doesn't work, right? So anger, right? When you're mad at people, they feel repelled from you. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to talk with you. Money is the same way. When you're overly attached, right? What does that mean? That means that you're giving it too much power over your life. If you're saying, I can't be happy now until I hit that money goal that I sent in the chat in the beginning, well, that's overly attached, right? And so learning some detachment, learning to value yourself now before you have the thing is going to actually help bring those bigger money manifestations. Um, Envy, right? Jealousy. I talk about this because social media is engineered to keep you in this like jealous scroll of like how everybody's flexing so hard and putting their highlight reel on the internet. But when you see that, I want you guys to remember that just a signal from the universe that you can have that too. Some other habits and behaviors that discourage and repel money are hoarding or overspending. Those are two ends of the same stick, but both of them are showcasing to you that you have a negative relationship with money, hustling too hard. That was my main vice. I did that for years, and still has to be mindful of creating balance when we're busy in my life. So here's what I want to ask you guys: is just take a moment and write down. I know some of you have journals. I see you writing. I love that. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word money? Just quickest gut reaction. Save as much as you can, Patty. Yeah, you guys are welcome to throw them in the chat. I love seeing this, Nicole. Okay, so save as much as you can. That's a good one, right? So that's more about hoarding. So what is that telling you? Lena says not enough, right? Okay. So that is that, once again, maybe you're in that habit of hoarding. Chanel said saving stability. Great. So it's the reason that I'm asking this, guys, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's only a self-diagnostic tool, because whatever your initial reaction to money is, it's just flagging back to you whether or not there's work to do on your relationship with money, right? And even if your initial one is a positive reaction, you can always look under the surface and see what else might be there that is still blocking you from achieving that 90-day goal that you set. So, my goal today is to help you guys shift money into a more neutral place. So, to do that, I want you to just see it as a tool to experience more life. So, it's not good or bad, right? Money just comes from source. It comes from God, if you're comfortable with that word. It comes from spirit, and it just manifests through other people to you. It's the frequency of love, it's high vibrational, and abundance is just a feeling that we tap into in the now to create more abundance, physical manifestations of abundance in the future. And every energy creates more of itself, right? So shifting money into a neutral place before it's in an excited and expectant place, this is the first step. Just realizing that it's not good or bad. It doesn't mean anything about your worth right now if you haven't hit your business goals or your income goals. It's just neutral, and you have the power to change this, and that change can happen quickly. So I want to share something that was this really shifted my beliefs about what it meant to be a wealthy woman and have money, and if I was allowed. Has anybody ever wondered if it's okay to be as rich as you desire to be? Do you get what I'm asking? Like, if it's some dirty little secret, like I felt bad about my financial goals at one point. Like people were going to judge me, think that I am superficial or something like that, and then that made me kind of mute my goals, right? And we don't want that. The universe works on desire. So we want you guys to be all fucking out with it, share it, and be true to yourself about what's most important for you. Um, yeah, so it sounds like Rebecca has completely gets that feeling. I saw a couple other people that are on camera nodding. So what I want to share that was a really big reframe for me, and if you take nothing else away today, I think this would be a great takeaway, is the law of correspondence. This is one of the main laws of the universe. It's that we were created in our creator's image. So whether you believe that's a big energy force or God, whatever you believe, that's welcome here, and it will work within this framework. But we were created in our creator's image. So we are creators too, because like energy creates itself, that we know this from physics, that it can't create anything but itself. And so since we are creators too, we are connected to the original creator. So what that means is that God, source, the universe, whatever you believe in, wants you to be wealthy because they expand through you. The universe expands through the senses of humans, through the eyesight, the taste, the knowledge, the touch, the travel of humans. So, this is also the law of one. It's your birthright to be filthy fucking rich, because this is how we expand. So, if we are constantly focusing on evolving our minds, our physical bodies and our spiritual systems and processes, then that is an incredible use of money. But guess what, guys? Without money, you can't do those things. We know that because a lot of you mentioned that you want to buy a home or you want to invest in your self care, right? So you need the money to continue to expand. So hopefully, this is shifting that belief. If that is something that you personally have struggled with, I know I did for many years. So this basically proves, like I said, that it is your birthright to be filthy fucking rich. But you have to believe this to receive it. So if this was a block for you, write this down. Put it on a post it note on your mirror or on your laptop and read this every day. So, like I was saying, it's in the creator's interest for all of us to have the money, all the money in the world, because the creator gets to know and experience itself through the neutral tool of money. It helps us learn, it helps us evolve and grow as humans, it helps us travel and see new things and taste new foods and expand our senses. That's it, right? It's not, it's not good or bad. It's not only good people that manifest wealth, and it's also not only bad people that manifest wealth. It's just the news tends to share those stories and scare you more. Why? We know the answer to that, right? So, abundance is a feeling that we tap into in the now to attract more money in the future. So, I just want you to think of something, the thing that you are excited about investing in. I want you guys to bring that item to mind right now. And what I want you to think about is the difference between the statements I can invest in and I can't afford X. I can invest in my self care. Feel how that feels in your body. Maybe you can even feel the positive energy flowing. I can't invest in my self care. It should feel like a contraction. It should feel like a lowering of your vibration. Can you guys feel the difference? Or drop it in the chat. Just say me if you could feel that when we did that exercise. Loving that. Okay, yeah, this is powerful. And you can do that anytime, right? If you guys are speaking about your relationship with money in a way that is actually lowering your vibration, connect to that feeling. And that can help you start reprogramming your language and being more mindful about how you're speaking about your finances. Thanks, guys, for sharing that with me. I'm glad to know that this is helpful. And we're going to get into some more tools. So, pillar two, this is all about energy mastery, right? That's why I asked you in the beginning, how much richer would you be if you could master your energy? Because if money is an energy, then mastering your energy to attract it should go together, right? So this is the empath battle. And I just want you guys to drop a quick me in the chat if you identify as an empath. So I just know how much time to spend on this topic. So if you identify as an empath, maybe you've researched this, maybe you haven't even heard of this term, but you feel like you absorb the emotions of others, or you're sensitive to things other people say, or when they've got chaotic energy, right? That you feel like sometimes that you can be affected by that. Okay, so I'm seeing a bunch of me's, so I'm going to go with the fact that, oh, okay, this looks like this is probably most of the people we have here 50-50. That works too. Okay, so then this will all be extremely helpful for you. And so what I want to say is that, sometimes I used to wonder, why do some women magnetize money effortlessly and then others do not, even if they are working towards their goals? We're all creators, right? We all literally birth human life through us. So then can't we all create it, right? So that was kind of where I started when I started my journey learning about manifesting money. Was easier for me in the DJ business. And I really, a couple years ago, went down the rabbit hole when I created this business. And as an empath, what I want you to know is that you're a suppressed species, okay? But you're special. And I should really say we, because I'm an empath too, obviously, or there's no way I could help you learn this about yourself. But the fact of the matter is that you're sensitive because you can sense. Okay, so an empath is just someone who is sensitive to the feelings and emotions of others, the energy, if you will, in their environments. And empaths have a very big energy field. I learned this from my own mediumship mentor that empaths have about a 19-foot on average energy field. Yes, it's been measured. So that means that your energy field is way larger than the average person. So other people's energy can get into your auric field. And then that's when you're feeling it and feeling like you've absorbed the energy of others or like it's hard to be around people who are too negative. I certainly know that feeling too. So we have to master this to unlock our intuitive gifts, right? This is part of getting rid of that experience of lower vibe emotions or anxiety, whether it's ours or someone else's, so that we can connect to the intuition needed to help us know which opportunities, people, pricing, etc., will help us manifest more money. And the other thing that I want to share on empaths right here too is that you have a vibrational manifestation style. So if you're consuming other people's content about just closing your eyes every morning and visualizing the sum of money that you want to receive or what you're going to invest it in, that's actually really not the right thing for you because you magnetize what you want to you by sending out a clear signal to the universe. So you being the highest vibration possible and then tuning to the energy of the thing that you want, right? So feeling like the most abundant self will help you create more money, not necessarily sitting there and visualizing it or sitting there and scripting about it, unless that tool creates that vibrational experience of abundance in your body. So, what I want you to know, like I said, as an empath, you are special. Your intuition is your natural superpower. And so this is next up we're going to learn exactly how that works, but I want you guys to really understand who you are so that we can get to the root of how your gifts work and how they'll continue to evolve. Um and then, oh, Lynn, I'm so glad that that's helpful for you. I really wanted this to be super deep for the people who are just like me and wondering what the fuck, how do I make more money or how do I like calibrate my emotions? How do I stay in this happy, vibrant, abundant place? So I'm glad this is hitting. Yes, everyone's energies and processes are different, Marissa, totally. And so this is really for people who have this type of energetic style because you guys are feelers, but you're intuitive feelers, which means you're not going to make money following what works for everyone else. So just like reading some books on success or following some other Instagram people, like unless they have your own energetic design, what they're doing likely won't work for you. It has to feel right in your body. Why? Because you're clairsentient. Okay. That's feeling when you get goosebumps and you know. You're clairsentient first and foremost. But guess what? Once again, I've already said this, you're super special and you can have all the clairs, all the different psychic powers if that's something that you wish to go on the journey with me or with someone else and develop. So the point is that the better you feel because you're an intuitive feeler and an empath, that you have to really sink into this vibration of abundance to manifest more money. So the better you feel, the more you're going to make. This is why I always say you have to become a millionaire vibrationally before it manifests in the 3D. So this is really connecting to that energy of abundance every single day and feeling what it feels like in your body. So having rituals, routines. Maybe there's groups that you're a part of that also make you feel like the wealthy woman you're becoming. Just having these checks and balances in place so that if you get off course, you just jump back on that wealthy bandwagon and create that feeling of abundance in your body again. I'm going to explain this in 1 second after a quick water break. So, has anybody ever seen this before? If you know what this is, you can just drop me in the chat. People call this the vibrational scale or the emotional scale. So, your inner GPS. Yes, great, exactly. So, this is really just about being able to gauge where you are. The reason that I'm showing this, yep, okay, it looks like it just moved so that everybody will be able to see it. Um, Okay, got it now. All right, cool. So the reason that I am showing you guys this is because I want you to see the types of emotions that help create overflow. So abundance and lack are two ends of the same stick, right? It's really the topic of money. So since money is an energy, it can manifest at all these different frequencies, but money manifesting at a level of joy and love, a very high frequency, looks different. It looks like overflow, whereas money manifesting in a low frequency looks like blockage. It looks like debt. It looks like bills. Or maybe you're not all the way down here at the bottom of the emotional scale. Maybe you're just in more of, a bored, or you're just pessimistic, or whatever, you're frustrated, right? I've been there. I think we've all been frustrated at some point. And so if you're feeling that way, then just know that there is a money block happening. You are constricting the flow of abundance to you. Once you go down from these high vibe emotions, the flow starts constricting. So just know that even if you don't have what you want, you're going to have to find a way to feel better now. And we're going to get into some tools for that. I saw that people asked about a slide on pillar two. We've probably got like 20 ish, 25 more minutes left. So if we can send around the recording if you need to go, or if anybody missed the information into, and I'll keep my eye on these slides and make sure they're moving. So thank you for the heads up. So, what does this really look like in practice, right? So, if you're an empath and you want to connect to the feeling of abundance more because you know now that that's how you're going to manifest larger sums of money, it looks like emotional transmutation, right? This happens with yourself, knowing when you're in these lower vibration emotions, understanding your triggers, working through some of those backstories, and raising your vibration, just getting out of it as quickly as possible. Emotional hygiene, right? So, knowing when you are around people, some people you can't avoid. And I'm not expecting you guys to just sit in your closets all day or anything like that. I want you to be out in the world living your best life, but just knowing rituals and practices to guard yourself around the energies of others. It's about energetic shielding and energy boundaries. I talk a lot on Instagram about energy vampires, and people are always very intrigued on that topic because, once again, if you're an empath, then sometimes you fall prey to situations where people are, intending to take energy from you, but really they can only take what you allow. So, getting really good with shielding and boundaries for yourself, clearing and grounding your energy from your mind and your energy field, your auric field. I use those terms interchangeably. And then it can also look like biohacking for abundance, because a lot of our intuition is housed in our gut. So, gut health is extremely important so that you can remain the most intuitive version of yourself. All right, so we are getting into pillar three now, and I see that that's showing for you guys. So, intuition is your power. So, we're going to talk about how you can harness this gift. So, what I wanted to ask you guys is, do you remember how you used to be very connected as a kid, right? Maybe you even saw spirits or aliens, or talked to, angels in your room, right? I've seen all sorts of different things from my friends that have kids. So it's really connecting back to that moment when you decided that your inner knowing, your inner guidance system was wrong, right? Maybe it was from some unmet expectations over a long time, or some extreme situation like we talked about earlier that you perceived as a failure. So, really going back to that moment and being like, why did I decide that? How is this false? And giving your brain the proof that this isn't your story and you don't need to take this into the future, and that it actually won't help you be the wealthiest version of yourself. So my point with all this is that we can essentially flip the switch from I don't know, right? Intuition, I don't know is essentially the opposite of feeling like you have the right answers for you about every area in your life, to I'm certain this is going to be money or amazing or whatever you want to say there. So, as empaths, I talked about this a little bit already, but we're going to get into a tool for this here in a couple of minutes. Your dominant sense is clairsentience. Okay. So, as an empath and as an intuitive feeler, you are already connected to the spiritual realm. We all are, because we're just spirits having a human experience. So, we all came from there. So, we can all connect back. That's why I gave that example of the law of correspondence, the law of one earlier, too. But you have the ability to perceive emotional and psychic energy around you that is imperceptible to the average person, okay, to the five standard senses. So you have a special gift, and it will be really helpful to your money goals to learn how to harness it. Intuition is also a competitive advantage over men because we were born with this. We have a natural abundance of it, and it's because we're the creators of life. So we were born to create. So when you are connected, you can use your intuition to tell you what to spend on, what to wait on purchasing, what you should invest in, maybe company wise or stock wise, or a new side business that you want to start. You know what to pursue, right? So, what job promotion to go for, what to speak to your boss about, what new projects would be in alignment for you to take on for your highest growth and potential. You know how to negotiate, you know how to set your boundaries. Everything in life gets easier. I can't say enough how much it changed my life, just learning how to be able to connect to intuition in any moment. Sophia sees me do it all the time because as a business owner that's doing multiple six figures, you got to make a lot of decisions. I learned this from Bethany Frankel. I don't know if you guys ever saw, I was on a show on HBO Max. It was a remake of The Apprentice years ago with Bethany Frankel from The Real Housewives. And she used to use her intuition when we were working together, like to make $100,000 decisions just on the drop of a hat. And that's what really got me interested in this because I was like, this is a person who just sold her last company for $100 million, and she just like silences herself, which is hard for her and me, but silences herself, checks in with her intuition, and just has the answers and is so confident like that. I was mesmerized by her when I used to work for her. So my point is that I'm not special. She's not special. Everyone has access to this tool. And guys, we're not doing this alone. We're not here on earth alone. That's just a big lie of separation. There are all these other energetic, benevolent forces that want to support you. So you do have the ability to access wisdom from your own ancestors. A lot of times, people of the same with a similar purpose group together to support each other. Both my parents are brain doctors, so that's one good example of that, but you might know already how that's happening in your own life. There's ancestors that we can access, transition souls that we can access. So, people that maybe also had a similar purpose. One of my mastermind clients has, she thinks Jane Austen is one of her spirit guides, and she helps her write and get into a flow state on her next novel, right? So, there's also ascended masters from a spiritual perspective that we can access. There are spirit guides, there are angels, and more. And so we the ability to connect to these gifts is what helps us really believe in our purpose and connect on a deeper level to our intuition. So let's get into this tool so that you guys can start to practice it and feel it. So all right, let me just make sure my slides are moving. Good. So now that you understand the quantum wealth formula, that was the different three parts that we just went over, we're going to get into how you can actually feel your own connection and rebuild this, right? Flip the light switch back on in your own body. So I want everybody to just take a couple of deep breaths with me. And so that just is breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth and in through your nose. And you can breathe out through your mouth and make a ha sound. Ha. And you can just close your eyes too, because I'm going to be guiding you right now, so you don't need them open. Breathe in through your nose and make one more ha out through your mouth. And I want you to just repeat the mantra in your head to yourself. It's an important part of releasing the ego so you can get into an intuitive state. I release, I let go. I release, I let go. I release, I let go. And now keep breathing deeply and repeat that mantra 3 times, slowly, in a relaxed state in your mind. And now we're going to just do a simple test question. So I want you to ask yourself in your mind, is the sky blue? And feel how your energy is moving. Notice what a yes feels like for you. It might feel like a flow up and down your chakra system. It might feel like chills or excitement. If you're more visual, you might see a green light. So just notice what comes up when you ask, is the sky blue? And just trust your body to guide you back to your intuitive connection. And now we're going to ask a test no question. Is the sky green? And just notice what the no feels like for you. It might feel like a blockage in your throat or your chest. It might feel like it's hard to breathe or something's weighing on your chest or your shoulders. It might feel like a gag reflex. So you can ask yourself again in your mind, is the sky green? And just notate what that no feels like. And now I want you to ask in your mind, am I meant to be wealthy? And just feel the juicy energy flowing through your body as you get that automatic yes from your higher self. And now ask yourself, is it possible for me to hit my money goal? And now ask yourself, do I need some more tools to get there? And so I'm going to ask you guys to come back and join me. And I just want to know in the chat, were you able to feel that it's possible for you to hit your money goal? Did everybody feel a yes for that? Andrea, I saw your question. If you can stay after, I will help you learn how to feel that in your body. Okay, good. We're getting a lot of yeses. A lot of people felt amazing. Lena, you felt a no. So that just means we need to shift something. So then you probably got on the second question, do you need more tools? Yes. Okay, you got about needing tools. Great. So you might have still gotten a yes for is it possible to hit your money goals and still needed tools, right? Because the timeline, the answers that you're getting are always evolving and changing as you are evolving and growing. You got a yes. Okay, we're seeing other people got yes to tools as well. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad this worked for you guys. I'm happy to stay on a couple minutes after and go over for the people who are still having a little trouble connecting. I will help you try to build that connection. And I'm also going to share a little bit more about the program that I teach us in now if you guys are interested in learning to build this over the longer term, right? Because learning how to connect to your intuition, yes, it is, there's a switch, you turn it off and on, but there are going to be new things that come up. There's a million more tools that you can use. There's way to cross check it to get specific data like percentages and numbers that you should ask for from your customers or for a raise, right? So we can get far more specific with this. But my main point in this entire workshop, if you take nothing else away today, I want you guys to see how it all comes down to energy. That money is energy and intuition is energy, and that the fastest way to make more money is to learn how to master your energy. So I want you guys to just think about what would becoming a queen of wealth creation mean for you? Right? We know what you're going to invest it in. How would that feel in your body, right? That's why I asked how much richer you would be if you learned how to master your energy, right? And then for the people who got that they need tools, right? It's like, what this is something that one of my own coaches would say to me on repeat. What are you willing to do for your prosperity? Right? Are you willing to do something differently? Because it's normal that the human brain has resistance to change. That's literally how we're wired because the ego's job is to keep us safe. So if you felt that this tool was helpful for you, or you already got a yes on knowing that you actually do need to go deeper with these types of tools, if you're going to reach that money goal, and you are, I know you will one day, then I just want to talk to you a little bit about the invitation that's next. So if you're ready to go from anxious and unclear to in control of your future and your finances, then we are opening up a new container of my membership, the Queens of Wealth Creation. So this is the group that I told you guys about that I've already been teaching the energetics of money for the past 6 months, but we've been teaching intuition and other spiritual tools for the past 18 months. And we are now inviting new members to join. It's been a smaller, close-knit group for a while. And this is the first time ever that we are opening this up to more people. Right now, it's only people that have worked with me previously in my other programs. Sophia, if you don't mind, my dear, can you just drop the link to the program so everybody can just take a peek, or anybody who's interested can just take a peek and see if they feel like this is answering any questions they have. And I'm obviously going to stay here for more questions. But what I want to remind you guys of is that most empaths automatically overgive to others and undergive to themselves. And this causes that feeling of lack because you're depleted. But as we talked about, empaths need to manifest vibrationally. So that's a big dissonance there. And so we have to work on closing that gap. Okay. So what I wanted to say is that the law of increase, according to the law of increase, you must give to yourself, specifically to your own development. You could even call that self-care, right? If you want to increase your net worth. So I just want to tell you guys a couple more stories. Sophia, we're getting a question for the link. Can you just drop it one more time? Thank you, love. So I want to share a couple more stories with you guys. That's why I shared those just recent money manifestations up front so that you guys could see it's not special. Anybody can do this. You know, they were exactly where you were when they started this program. But these are from two other people, Megan and Chris. You can see she's one of the girls that had her mom just like really come through hardcore, but she's been with me for 7 months in this program. There's no exact determined amount of how long people stay. They stay in this container as long as they are happy and enjoying it and learning and liking the community. But she's had 2 new jobs in that time. So I think she just needed some stability during that time. She hit her first 6-figure salary. She then went back to the other company that she left. We pitched them to become her first consulting client. She had always had this vision. So now she's becoming a first-time business owner while getting a full 6-figure salary. She moved into her dream home, and you can see that she's just been manifesting random money for other things as well. This is about Christina, Chris. She's 45 years old. She's an entrepreneur in Connecticut. When she came to me, she was really looking to expand her business. And a couple of months into the membership, she had a $17 million in sales month, right? Not revenue. I don't want to mislead anybody, but this was a bigger month than some of her full fiscal years. It allowed her to expand her team, hire more people, pay her partner better, that she really wanted to support this person person that was working for her, like her junior right hand woman, and build a new business partnership with a company that supports their technology way better, their clients better, and takes a lot of work off her plate. So super, super exciting. So what I just want you guys to know is that you can take today's training and you can DIY it. That's why it's here. I want you guys to know how to do this if you want to go do it on your own, or you can quantum leap towards that 90-day money goal that we just set, towards your richest future with my support, 11 years of entrepreneurial money making experience, my community, our tools, and just getting involved in the weekly Wednesday Wealthy Woman vibe that we're all about, right? Connecting, having these structured checkpoints where you're connecting to the wealthiest version of you. So, like I said, this has been a private privilege of my past clients who've been through my high ticket offers. I've never offered this to anybody previously. You won't see it on my website. You won't see it on my Instagram. This is the first time that we're opening this up to people who haven't previously been through one of my programs. And my group programs start at over 3,000 and one-on-one is 3K a month. So starts at 9,000. So the membership has already been running for a year and a half and it was at 444 a month. For the initial members. And just want to go over what's included with you guys. And then I want to make you guys a very special invitation if you're interested and tell you about what's next to come. So this is what's included in the membership. So you will have training calls to teach all the tools. So that's going to be me teaching you how to use that intuition tool, right? So spending all the time you need to reconnect and understand how it works, plus many other tools. You will have integration calls every other week. So we have Wealthy Wednesdays. We meet every Wednesday on lunchtime, and you'll have a training call one week and then an integration call the next week so that I'm making sure that you learn it, you understand it, that I'm answering your questions, that we can apply it to different money decisions or job decisions or your purpose or whatever is going on in your life in relation to you being the wealthiest version of yourself. So there's training calls and intuition calls, integration calls. So there's 4 calls a month. You're not required to join them all, but we do put up all the recordings. You will each get a buddy, a money co-manifester, and then have access to our amazing community. Our WhatsApp chat goes off. It's so fun to share and celebrate everybody else's wins and kind of do it together. Like the first person whose mother just started sending her thousands of dollars, like it just kind of kicked off this chain reaction where then 4 or 5 girls had it last month. It just so random. I've never seen that one before, but I'm just still like waiting for my mom to send me a check. Why the fuck not, right? But anyway, you will also get morning wealth rituals. You will get weekly wealth habits. You will get a money evidence tracker because we want to be in there with you. We want to actually calculate all the wealth that this new community is creating together. So this is everything that is included. And like I said, guys, I'm not the one that is really oh, someone's mom just offered her 5K. I'm loving that. All right, so we've got a lot of generous moms in this community. Love that for you, Lena. Congrats. Say yes, right? We got to say yes to all the gifts that the universe offers us, because if someone is offering it, then you just have to accept that it's meant to be yours and receive it. So these are the upcoming tools. The transformation is in the tools. I'm not special. I channel some of this stuff. This is stuff I've been using in my own life when I built the DJ business, when I made those investments, the ones that I'm only going to teach you about the stuff that worked, right? Not the ones that failed. But what we're going to get into in the upcoming weeks is your money zone of genius, really connecting to that sweet spot of your spiritual gifts and your just mental gifts, what you're here to do in the world that will also make you the most money. We will also work on the radiating of the energy of money, different tools for feeling that feeling of abundance in your body, for energy shielding. If people need support with energy vampires, I will teach those techniques on a much deeper level in these training calls. I will help you guys connect to your own money guides. So, like I said, we're not here alone. Newsflash, surprise, surprise, right? When the lights flicker, when we're talking, cue the lights. No, just kidding. But we're not here alone. Everybody is guided and supported, and you all have guides that want to help you with your purpose, your evolution, and they want to help you be the wealthiest, happiest version of yourself. So I have activations, rituals, and techniques to help you connect to them. I'm a certified Reiki master and medium, so I can help you with healing and connecting on the other side of that. And then we will also be developing intuitive income and pricing. So this isn't just for entrepreneurs. A lot of my clients work for other people. And if you are somebody that needs to negotiate a price increase, that you haven't asked for a raise in a year, that you are negotiating for a new job, right? And you want to know what the right number is to ask for. Maybe they've asked you that, or you need to come back and counter their offer. The tools that I will teach you in that section of the program will be so useful. Your life will never be the same. You will always ask for more money, and therefore, you'll always make more money. Um, so these are really, this is the toolbook that helped me personally go from anxious and confused to clarity, cash, and confidence. So that's all I'm going to be teaching you guys is exactly what has worked for me to get me to this place where I've been able to make over $1 million and have multiple six-figure businesses. And this one itself will definitely be my best yet. We grew 150% last year. So just so you guys know, to recap that, my one-on-one offers start at 9,000 now because we have such limited availability and on the amount of hours that I can add to my current schedule. And our groups start at 3,000, and the current membership is at 444 a month. But right now, for the next 24 hours, and I am doing a bonus kickoff tomorrow for those of you who are just like, fuck yeah, this is me. I already felt that intuitive connection. I'm giving myself the green light to do this for my future wealthiest self. Great. So it is 197 a month. You will have that for as long as you choose to be in this membership. We are not going to take that away from you and then upcharge you the 444 a month. I'm actually going to let all of them have this offer as well because it wouldn't be fair to only offer it to new people and not support the women that have been in my community for years. So it's 197 a month. If you just want to join the regular membership, if you're looking for a little bit more support, Sophia, just drop that link in the chat one more time so people can see the difference between the VIP and the regular membership. Thank you, love. If you're looking for a little bit more support, the VIP offer does have a coaching component with it. So we will have weekly check-ins. They will be over our app. Everything's housed in our own app in the Apple App Store. And so you'll get weekly check-ins, you'll get a weekly journal, and I will be there on text and email support for anything monetary, purpose-wise, career-wise that you're going through. So I will be like your pocket coach, helping to be your cheerleader and problem solve and sort through anything in your life. So if you're just looking for a bit of a more hands-on approach, obviously you can ask me questions about the tools in the integration calls. But if you know right now you're in a pivotal moment and you need a little bit more support, the VIP could be a good offer for you. So how do you sign up? You guys should already have that link. It's in the chat, or you can screenshot this page. We're really only leaving this up for 24 hours. So I just want to make sure that you guys have a chance after this to ask me any questions you have so that you don't miss the bonus session tomorrow. I want to show you guys too, just a little bit more. My promise to you guys is that if you join me on the journey of a lifetime, on your journey to wealth creation in this membership, my promise is to you is that I will help you increase in every aspect of your life. So what does that mean? More money, better job, more creativity, more confidence, or your money back, right? I'm just here to support you, help you, and serve you. I never want to, I've never had to do a refund, but if you don't like this community, you don't like the tools, and you don't want to be a part of it, then we won't keep you in it. So this is really a self-guided journey. You get to be here for a couple months, or you get to be like some of my queens that have been in one membership or community or another of mine for 3 years. So it's really up to you guys. And I just wanted to show you guys a couple more manifestations that do sort of have to do with money, like a pretty diamond ring and a brand new home being custom built have to do with money, but they're also just how my clients get to live after they work through these things, after they learn to master their energy, after they learn to connect to their intuition, after they understand how to play with the energetics of money. It has this ripple effect in every area of your life. And so tomorrow, for those of you who are interested in joining us, the first thing we're going to do, this is our app, guys. It's called the main app's called the Manifest Mindset. You'll get your own portal to the group for the Queens of Wealth Creation. My main company has been called the Manifest Mindset for years, so this is just an offshoot of that group. And then Tomorrow, we're going to work on implementing the law of increase so that immediately you guys can get some of these quick wins, money from the mom, money in the mail, a random bonus, a random check, whatever it is, so that we can start manifesting money to 2x your investment. I want you guys to see that return right away. And then I want to teach you guys how to start meeting your guardian angel for wealth creation and get you all kicking off your rich as fuck morning ritual. So we're going to be putting a couple of different pieces into play so that you start getting a benefit from these tools and techniques right away. So I am going to, Sophia, if you don't mind, just drop that link one more time. I know there's been some movement in the chat, and I appreciate all of your beautiful, loving comments. And thank you, UK people, for staying up. I'm so honored and flattered, and I totally get that you're tired. So, my main point, guys, is that being anxious attracts money problems, but you can consciously shift this too. And especially, like maybe right now, you're feeling nervous about is this the right investment for you or is this the right time? I want you to remind yourself that you can consciously shift your thoughts about this too. This investment is protecting and expanding my bank account. This investment is connecting me to the wealthiest version of myself. This investment is going to help me build money in my future, right? So, and when I say future, it doesn't have to be that far off. That's why we're going to start implementing some of these tools in that call tomorrow. So just remember, as a woman, you've been conditioned to spend your money on the external self. That's what's literally blocking the wealth that you desire and deserve. You're just not used to spending it on things that are about your internal self. But when we spend on improving our internal self, our mindset, our growth, our spiritual gifts, that's how we invoke the law of increase. So saying yes is actually activating an automatic transformation. Okay. It gets to be that easy. Saying yes to you kicks off this spiritual transformation where you are actually moving down your timeline to attracting more wealth. So just to remind you guys, this is one last example of two other investments that I made more recently. These were in, oh, spilled on myself. Do I look okay? Okay. These are in 2018. Yeah, funny how I tend to do I do all these investments one year and then I wait a bit, right? Because I know that if I'm not feeling well or I'm investing in something else, that's what my priority is. Thank you, Anastasia. And so when I in 2018 when I made both of these investments, just to give you one more example, this one, I won't say the name of the company, but it was a rosé brand. I was DJ Rosé. So this was a big part of my business, but I made this investment because another deal that I had went south. I had a 3-year, 50, $60,000, I forget exactly what the numbers were, partnership with Whispering Angel every year, where I was basically their music director. I was kind of the face of the brand for certain events for them all over the world. And they were paying me on repeat to show up and do this deal. And then that deal fell south through some crazy circumstances in the company. And so I kind of made this other investment in this other rose as sort of like from fear or retaliation, just some lower vibration emotions. This other investment that I made in Clio Capital, which you guys can see here, I pulled this chart from my investment statement just last week that I contributed $50,000 minus the wire fees and I think her fund fees. And the net asset value now is over $104,000, right? So I more than doubled my money in a couple of years. And I made this decision from an intuitive knowing. This is a woman that I hired to come speak at a demo day for tech founders. I have tech client founders too right now, but who I just knew that her mission was important. She's a minority woman investing in other minorities and women, giving them the funds to start really socially conscious startups. And I was like, this is a yes. I just know this is going to do well. I know this is going to be, something that helps change the world. And these investments did very differently, right? Once again, going back to that fear versus that intuition. So I just want to remind you guys that if therapy worked, we'd all be billionaires. It might just be simply shifting the way that you're allocating your budget right now, right? Or looking at some other place that you can, budget a little slimmer in right now, because when you budget for things that are going to grow your net worth, you can have it all later, right? So it might just be getting a couple of these tools under your belts, and then you'll be making so much that you'll just have it all. Because my goal for you is for you to be having the Botox, the spa days, the trips all around the world, whatever it is that your heart desires while you are living in alignment, treating your body well, eating the highest and best quality foods, going to all the workout classes that you want, right? We know that's like 30 bucks, 30, $40 a class now. So I want you to have it all. It's just about figuring out what's the great point for you to jump on this journey of really building your understanding of the energetics of wealth, connecting to your intuition and your other spiritual gifts, and mastering your energy. And so I'm going to open up the floor. I could tell some more stories of people, but I also want to save time for questions since we're already at 7:23. Does anybody have any questions for me? You don't have to be shy. Thank you, Queen Nicole. Thea, do you want to just come on your camera so I can understand you a little better, please? Do you mind just so I can understand what you mean by empathic blocks to wealth? I think maybe you're talking about energetic blocks to wealth. Running around with the kids. No worries. And guys, if anybody else wants to ask me anything, I know there were some people that wanted to learn about connecting to their intuition a little more. I didn't want to stop then. I want to make sure that we got through all of the slides, but I'm happy to talk to you now too if your experience was neutral. We can talk through what that energy felt like. So if anybody, I don't know who wrote that in the chat, but if you guys want to just MG or MB, if you want to come on camera, we can just talk a little bit about how you can make that tool work better for you. And then, of course, if you're interested in joining the membership, we'll be talking about that a lot. How were you able to connect to my spirit guides? Yeah, so I studied mediumship for 6 years at the 6 months at the Los Angeles School of Spiritual Arts. But before that, for 2 years, I built my own meditation process where I would activate and connect to my own guides. It really started 10 years ago when I lost my father. He was my best friend, and I just knew that dude loved me too much to disappear on me and leave me on earth alone. So that was really what kicked off my desire. So I knew he was one of my guides. So that was kind of an entry place. But this is something that I do teach in the membership, and everybody has guides. We're not here alone. That's the best part about this is that you will be able to do this as well. So it's really about building your meditation. If you want to DIY this, what I would say is really I don't know your name, but it says her billionaire mindset. And I love that for you. But I would say to really lean in on your meditation practice. That's the first step is really learning how to quiet the logical mind so that you can start to build this spiritual connection. If you're still having intrusive thoughts, thinking about your to-do list, distracted, having thoughts of the ego when you're meditating, it's impossible to get up here. So that I'm going to give you her billionaire mindset as the first step for you to practice. And then, of course, if you want to go deeper on that journey, I teach this. I also do, if somebody's like, I just want you to tell me everything that's coming up in my future and how I can get closer to my path for abundance. I do offer money mediumship sessions. So those are just 1 hour sessions with me, and I'll go in and talk to your guides for you and cross check information with you. You'll set intentions, and then we do some coaching and integration afterwards. So that can also be a fun option. But guys, I would love for you to learn these gifts on your own, right? I can do this for other people all day. I mean, I have another one tomorrow, and one of my girls from one last week just joined. But the beauty is in you being able to connect to your own guides and your own intuition to get these answers like out of thin air. Because then, like, money loves speed. You just keep, what's best for you. You stay in alignment. You don't have to take a long time or be slow about pivoting to a new job or be slow about starting that side hustle if that's right for you. Like, it's so much more fun to play in the game of life where you have access to all the answers and you don't need them to come from an outside source. So That's what I would like to say about that. And if anybody else, I know that, oh, Marissa, you said you relate to that so much. Well, I hope that you will join me. Guys, this is your invite to really up level the skill set. I can't wait to teach everybody about connecting to spirit guides because we've been doing that already in my mastermind group and the results have been insane. So that is super exciting. Um, MG, it sounds like you're just needing to connect better in meditation. But once again, if you have a question specifically for me, you're more than welcome to come off camera, come on camera and just ask me. Oh, thank you, Thea. I love your energy too. And I hope that you will consider joining me. And guys, remember, if you're still here, I know that you're obviously very interested in learning this, or maybe some of the things that I said resonated with you, or you're at a place in your career where you know that something's going to have to shift because you haven't gotten what you've wanted so far, right? And if you have the degrees, the education, the skill sets, right, it's about these spiritual tools, these energetic tools, mastering your energy and connecting to your intuition. Like if the hard skills you've already got, it's about building the soft skills basically. So that's who this membership is really, really great for, is people that are already good at what they do, or even if you don't know, you're in a job right now, but you don't know if it's your purpose, we will get down to that. That will definitely be a big focus in this membership because purpose is the path to more prosperity. So we always teach that. We will workshop that together in the integration sessions. So it's not about you having it all figured out before you join something like this. This is really the invitation to be in a supportive, loving group of women whose goal is just to be the wealthiest version of themselves this summer, right? Like if you are ready to step in to your wealthy woman summer, not your hot girl summer, your wealthy woman summer, then this is the right container for you. I promise to make it fun. I promise to not talk so fast. I don't know, maybe I can't keep that promise, but I promise to help you fearlessly work towards your goals. Yeah, this is my favorite stuff to teach. I've got other programs, and this one lights me up the most. And that's why we decided to tell other people about it. Oh, Thea, you're in. Yay. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I can't wait to meet you.